Okay, so what we're going to look at now is how we take a plan of operations and import that into the PW14, and then we'll look at some little issues that you may have to resolve as a part of that. First off, what we'll do is we'll just talk about the plan of operations. We have one here which is very large, and the key thing with the plan of operations is it has to be in the correct template. It has to be the right version of the plan of operations. There are a couple of ways that you can check this, and the first one is just to check the rows. The first 10 rows will be a header and 2 example rows. So the data is starting at row 11. If your data doesn't appear to be starting at row 11, there's something slightly wrong, and you might have to tweak the template or return it to the owner to get them to use the proper template. The other test that we can do, just to quickly look at this, is column AI should have the header established by natural regeneration. If the header is before or after column AI, the chances are somebody has either removed columns or inserted columns when they've been filling out the plan of operations. If you're satisfied it is the correct template, if you're satisfied that the data looks okay, it looks like the information has been entered correctly, then we can start copying and importing it into the PW14. The best way of doing that is move across to column AI, select AI and all the way along to column A. It's best to go that way because you don't go flying off the edge of the screen if you do. And then I go to Home, I go to Copy, and then I need to go into the PW14, get myself to the Felling and Restocking tab, make sure that I'm in cell A1, Home, Paste Special, and we're coming down to 123%. And I hit that, and as you can see, the information's been imported. If this is in the correct format, the correct template, that's it. You've done your import. So you can go straight to the Auto tab. In the Auto tab, we have the felling details at the top, and you'll notice that these cells are red. You as a Woodland officer don't have to worry about that. These are warnings to the admin teams that the information in that cell is going to be too big for the felling license database, but they have ways of managing that. So this is a warning for the admin teams, not for the Woodland officers. The other key thing with this felling details really is that if you see a row that is greyed out, it may have information in it, but it may be greyed out, then there is a likelihood that there is a problem with the plan of operations. So refer to the guidance, look at the plan of operations, and try and solve the problem. If it all looks correct, and in this case I'm fairly satisfied that that is correct, what I do is I then move down to the calculations part. And you'll have to review the whole of this calculation part. In this example it's huge, so there's a lot down here. But I have already pre-populated it with some little errors to try and show you and demonstrate some things. One of the main things we have, and this will only happen in the compartment column, is you'll see that there's an orange backlight here. And really all this is saying that we have 2 instances of compartment 1B. In this case it's legitimate because we have thinning going on in 1B and we have clearfell going on in 1B. That's fine, that's perfectly okay. If you had 2 thinnings and 2 1Bs, you'd have to go back to the plan of operations and you'd have to make sure that you correct that. And what I'll say right here and now is the key thing to remember is that in this PW14 you do not insert or delete columns, rows or anything. You do all of that work in the plan of operations. So the other issue that we can have is this, what I call the pink issue. And what this is telling us is that we have information entered here, but we don't have an operation type. So again, I need to make a note of that, and I'll need to go and fix that in the plan of operations. But before I do, I also have another error here. They look similar, but they are ever so slightly different. The top one is creating an error because I have no hectares entered into the information. And this second one is incorrect because I have no volumes of species entered into this information. So what I need to do with the pink and these purples is go and repair them in the plan of operations and then re-import the data. So I'll just go ahead and I'll do that. So go back in the plan of operations. Again, you make all changes in here. You do not do anything in the PW14. So I'm going to select that as thinning because I did a site visit and I know that was thinning. And then the other error we had was down here at 3D, and I know that that should be 1.6 hectares. And the other error we had was 4A because we didn't have species volumes, and that's going to be 10 and then 20. So I've entered the information in. So what I need to do is go along to column AI, select all of the information again, as before, copy, PW14, felling and restocking tab, cell A1, home, paste special, 1, 2, 3. Doesn't look like anything's happened, but the errors were fixed. We can see the T for thinning there. And if I go into the auto tab, we can see that the information has gone. Those color highlights are no longer there. So you would have to do that for the whole of the plan of operations in the PW14. So this does all your breaking up and your amalgamation for you, but it will also help you with some minor error issues within the plan of operations as well.